Hey folks, welcome back to Jerome Bee Farm and Homestead. It is Tuesday, I think it's August 15th, it's mid-August, and boy, I am ready for a break in the heat. So I was sitting in my office and staring out the window, and I noticed a big old cloud has come up and covered the sun. So it's about 7:45, 8 o'clock-ish, and so the sun's sitting behind those clouds, and it cooled it off quite a bit. It said it was 95 when I came out, but it doesn't feel near that hot now. But yeah, so we got us a cool front coming in, and I'll show you over here. Yeah, so there's some actual rain, looks like, right in there coming down. So yeah, man, I am tired of this heat and we need a break. It's supposed to be high of 85 tomorrow, so that's awesome. Yeah, so the last video, I was down here doing my oxalic acid treatment, and I started over here in the sun, and man, I just got too hot too fast, and I had to bug out. And some of you may have saw that. And after I got cooled up in the house, I had sweat so much, I guess all the electrolytes were gone out of my body. My arch muscles in my feet just cramped at the same time, and then shortly after that my calves started cramping. It was terrible. So I'm like, this beekeeping is killing me. So I'm going to be a lot more careful the next round when I do it this Saturday. I'm going to do it this time of day, and I'll just keep treating them on into the dark and stay a lot cooler that way. Yeah, so this weekend on the second treatment, when I do this, it's supposed to be a lot cooler, and chances of rain this weekend, which would be great. We could use the rain. So today, thought I'd run out here real quick since it's cooled off a lot more because of the big cloud over there. I've been wanting to do another video of as the nuke turns. Some of you like that, but I've been wanting to get in these two nukes that are left. They're both queen right, I believe, and we just need to check them out and see how they're doing. I didn't bring my notebook, but yeah, we need to just check them out, see how they're doing, and at some point we need to move them into like a single deep and try and overwinter them like that. And we might even put a double screen between them over winter, so they're sharing their combined warmth and still keep the two colonies separate. But let's get in there and see how they're doing, and just do a checkup on these new queens and see if they're making any headway. The fall flow, you know, we ought to start seeing some goldenrod here pretty soon. And if we get a good rain, I think we might have a decent fall flow. So let's get in there and see what they look like. Okay, got my little flashlight here to look down on the frames, because the light's not going to be very good over here. So this is hives 31 and 32. And I believe this one here is queen right and had a marked queen, but I may be wrong. I forgot to bring my little book with me, so I was in a hurry. But we got some newspaper here, so we've newspaper combined another nuke on top of this one, I believe is what we've done. And I didn't bring the smoker. I don't think we're going to need it. Not a whole lot of bees up here. So this is just some empty comb and a little bit of nectar there. This hive doesn't smell real good. I may just be smelling a lot of this older brood comb. But out here in full sun, I wouldn't think we would have any hive beetle issues, and I haven't seen a hive beetle yet. So here's some older, looks like capped larvae. But I don't know if that's from our queen or if this is from this frame that I brought over and it may got too hot to emerge. I don't know, but there's a little bit left right there too. Same thing on this frame. Let's peek in here for some eggs real quick. No. Check this other frame around that brood to see if there's any eggs around it. You know, not going to see a lot, but there might be a few in there. She's actually laying a little bit. and I would see different stages of larvae. And I don't, so what I think these are is some old brood that did not emerge for whatever reason. It may have got too hot. Let's pop a couple open and see what they look like inside. If they look bad. I can't really tell. Yeah, I don't think that brood is any good. So there's the little bee that I got out of there. I don't have a lot of experience looking at larvae like that to know. It's kind of gray rather than light colored, but I don't think it's a good larva. It just doesn't look real healthy to me. And I don't think there's enough bees in here to clean that up, at least not yet. We may be surprised though and see what's in the bottom. So that's nectar there, just a little bit. So it looks to me like they've actually foraged a little bit. This frame here is empty, because that's fresh nectar, looks like. So today it was 102. And these hives being out here in the open, I don't know how well they can regulate their temperature. So the newspaper is all but gone. And it looks like the bees are all on this side over here. These two frames don't look like there's much on them at all. So now I'm going to be looking real close for the queen. This frame is empty. There's nothing on it. And here's our queen right here, marked yellow. She's a good looking queen. So if my memory serves me correct, we were waiting on her to start laying. And they think they're queen right because they aren't laying worker and they haven't killed her. So I think what I was thinking before was it was so hot and dry. We've had a little bit of rain. We got 6/10. And I was thinking that might get her to laying if we got some rain and it cooled off a little bit. But there are no eggs, larvae, anything on this frame that we found her on. I hate to set this down here with her on it, but I want to see these other frames. That brood up top I don't think was hers at all. Well, here's a little pattern right here. Looky there. And we have larvae and eggs. So I was already writing her off, and looky there. This side is the same. So there's the capped, and down there you see a few larvae, and out from that there's a few eggs. So I'm calling this one good. We just need to get them into a 10 frame box and out of this double-decker nuke. But no hurry to do that. Thought I might see a little bit of brood on this one. There's some larvae right here. So she has started laying, I would say the amount of bees she has, that's about all she's going to do right now. We could start feeding this hive, but we're in real danger right now of causing a robbing situation. And this hive would get robbed out and they'd get run off. So she's right there, the middle here. So I got my eye on her, putting her in here. Don't want to roll her around, squish her. Okay. Let's get over to the other hive, 32. So it looks decent on the front. It has more than over here. We just want us a queen right nuke, and with a little bit of a brood pattern like we saw in that other one. There's a few more bees up top in this hive compared to that other one. It doesn't have the smell the other one did. I might have been smelling that some of that old brood up top. This feels like it's full of honey. So that's pretty much a capped honey frame there. I take that back. I do smell the same smell. Smells kind of like chewing tobacco. My dad used to chew red man chewing tobacco. It smells a little bit like that. So we got us some fresh nectar right in here a little bit. So these bees are doing some foraging. And here's our queen up top. Looks like a virgin queen kinda. She's not marked. I wonder if they superseded when I wasn't looking, because that does not look like a really good mated queen. And she's up here on a nectar frame, which is weird. The only time you, well, not the only time, but a lot of times when you're seeing queens up around the food, like this one, it's a virgin queen just running around. She was a little long for a virgin queen, but that's odd that she's up here in the top of the box. Well, and there's a brood pattern. I guess it was just where she happened to be. But yeah, she's a small queen. This doesn't look bad. That's a better brood pattern than the Hive 31 we just looked at. And there's a little bit right here. Normally I would stop right here and just shut this up, but for the sake of the video, I want to see what's in the bottom. Take a quick look at these. Nothing on here, it's empty. And this next frame is solid honey, so that was put in there as a food resource for them when we did some of these splits and combines. Some of this came from the beast hive, remember? Let's see, let's get this back in here. I'm curious to see if we've got any brood down below. So again, this hive here has newspaper and no handles. So there's bees here, but it looks to me like there's not a lot of bees down low. Let's see what they look like. Like the bees are just on the top of the frames, and most of the population's up in that top box. Oh, that's a tight fit. So this is mostly a little bit of honey here. Yeah, I don't think there's anything going on down here below. Everything's up top. It's all empty. A little bit of honey there. Yeah, honey's on the top. Queen's not down here laying. Well, she made a liar out of me. Here's a pattern right here. Looks like she laid this all up and they emerged from the center on out. And these are your oldest larvae here that haven't emerged yet. No eggs or anything there. So this hive here, I'd say, is a lot stronger than the other one next to it. Here's a supersedure cell or an emergency cell. There is a larva in there. So they are superseding that queen. And it's not the time of year to do that. So there's our cell right there. And I saw a bee climb out of it, and that made me want to look in there. But see the white in there? And I could see a little larva curled up in there. So I'm not going to mess with that. I'm just going to leave it. So that queen being up there, maybe she's not laying anymore and they know they need to supersede. That's all that they're doing that, but they know. This is honey here. It's heavy. Okay. Well, we need to make a note on this number 32, supersede your cell on bottom number 4 frame. Yeah, so we've got 2 queen hives, and I don't know what's going on with this supersedure here, but we'll let them sort it out. It's not a good time of the year for your virgin queens to be flying out and mating and coming back. The drone count's a lot lower, and the odds of her making it back are not that good, and to be mated well. So we'll just see how it goes. You know, worst case, we'll wind up combining these 2 and or with another hive. We'll just see how it goes from here. So that's it for this episode of As the Nuke Turns. Give me a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe on your way out. We'll catch you on the next beekeeping video. Y'all take care.